And now it's time for The Adventures of Chattanooga Shale. Joined by his assistant, Tennessee Jane, Chattanooga Shale travels the world in search of truth, justice, and valuable artifacts that belong in a museum. We join our heroes for today's exciting adventure, Chattanooga Shale and the Traders of the Lost Park.
Chattanooga?
Yes, Tennessee.
Not to complain, but what are we doing up here?
Don't you remember, Tennessee? We're trying to find the 4 pieces of the valuable and ancient map of antiquity. Once we've found all 4 pieces, the map will be complete and show us the way to an ancient and generically unnamed treasure. That treasure belongs in a museum. We found the first piece of the map in the Palace of Gloom, and all of our research indicates that the next piece of the map is somewhere inside the Bermuda Triangle.
I know how we got here, Chattanooga.
Well, don't get mad at me. We had to work the recap into the episode somehow.
What I don't know is why we're flying around in circles above the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, That's just part of my latest and greatest plan to find the next piece of the map.
Which would be?
To get us completely and totally lost.
What?
Well, the way I figure it, if we go into the Bermuda Triangle and get thoroughly lost, then that's got to put us right next to the Lost Park. Because it's the Lost Park. So it's got to be near Lost, right?
But Chattanooga, I don't think it works that way.
It doesn't?
No. It's not called the Lost Park because it's near Lost. They call it the Lost Park because no one knows where it is.
Right. So if we get ourselves lost, we won't know where we are, and that's got to put us close to the park.
Regardless of the merits of that plan, I think we should probably turn around and go back to the airport.
And why is that?
Do you see those dark clouds up ahead? There's a storm coming this way.
Oh, that's all right. I made sure to bring an umbrella.
An umbrella won't help us up here. Flying into a thunderstorm with an open prop plane is just a bad idea.
But Honest John said that this plane would stand up to anything.
Honest John? Who's Honest John?
He's the owner of Honest John's thoroughly used junk shop emporium. He gave me a great deal on this airplane.
Oh boy. Chattanooga, please turn around.
I'd love to, Tennessee, but there's a slight problem.
And what would that be?
The steering controls just broke.
What?
I don't understand it. Honest John gave me a lifetime warranty.
He gave you a warranty on this old hunk of junk?
Sure he did. It was good for the life of the plane.
Chattanooga, that means that the warranty is only good until the airplane breaks.
Well, it's a good thing that it broke before the warranty expired.
The engine just died, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, Tennessee, I may be wrong, but I think we're in trouble.
What was your first clue?
The fact that the controls are unresponsive.
Wait! Chattanooga, look there! 10 o'clock! 10 o'clock!
Huh? What happens at 10 o'clock?
Not time. Directions. 10, 11, 12, 10 o'clock. Fire!
I don't get it. My watch says that it's 1:45.
Ugh. Chattanooga, look straight ahead. That's 12 o'clock. Now, turn 2 degrees to your left, like you're facing the 10 o'clock position on a clock.
Okay.
Do you see it? There's smoke!
And where there's smoke, there's fire. Quick, call Smokey the Bear.
No! Where there's smoke, there's dry land. Chattanooga, we've got to land on that island.
But that's impossible. The controls are out.
Well, do something. Hitting that island is our only hope.
Aha! I have a plan.
Does it involve dying a horrible death?
Nope. It does, however, involve great bravery, terrific smarts, and the breaking of all known laws of physics.
Well, when you put it that way, what could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing. Hang on, Tennessee. We're going down in the crash landing of all crash landings.
I can't believe that worked.
That was so cool. I've got to try that again.
I can't believe that worked.
I should patent that. Think of how marketable a ride like that would be at an amusement park.
I can't believe that worked. Chattanooga, do you realize what we just did? We just jumped out of an airplane and parachuted to the ground using an oversized weather umbrella. Not only did we survive, but we didn't even get hurt. It was impossible.
No, it isn't. Mary Poppins does this sort of thing all the time.
I think I'm just not going to think about that.
That's probably a good idea. I wonder where we are.
Oh, hey, look. There's a sign over there. It says, "The Lost Park, discovered in 1403, lost in 1410, rediscovered in 1834, lost in 1850. We're in the Lost Park. I don't believe it. That crazy plan of yours worked.
Don't my plans always work?
Then this means that the next piece of the map must be around here somewhere. Wait, that explains the fire we saw from the air. The guardian of the second piece of the map of antiquity must have built that fire. He must live here.
I did, and I do. It's hard to make water without boiling tea, you know.
Ack! You're the guardian of the Lost Park?
Yep. I'm the map of the guardian of the map. I'm also the resident trader of the Lost Park. And let me tell you, booming is in business. Business is booming. You're the third customer that I've ever had.
Only the third? And that's a booming market? And you seem to be having a really hard time keeping your sentences straight, Mr. Dinosaur.
You try speaking straight when you're a crazy hermit. You're the first 40 years I've seen in two people. You're the first people I've seen in 40 years.
You've been here that long?
And far longer still. I don't get much news of the mainland, so I'm a bit behind the times. Tell me, have the Cubs won the World Series yet?
Well, how can I put this?
Rats. I guess that it's a good thing I became a 30-year-old Cardinal. I became a Cardinal fan about 30 years ago. Anyway, I assume that you're here for the second piece of the map of antiquity.
That would be correct. We want to find the treasure and donate it to a museum. We're archaeologists. Finding treasure and donating it to museums is what we do.
Well, seeing as how I am the guardian, I can't just give it to you. But since I'm also a trader, I'm sure that we can equitable transaction some agreement. You know what I meant.
You want us to buy it from you?
I think I've got about $50 on me. Is that enough?
No, get it away, get it away. Defiler!
What? What's wrong?
It's evil.
Mr. Dino, Chattanooga Shale may be many things, but I can assure you that he's not evil.
No, not the money, the monkey. Not the monkey, the money. The money is evil. Get it away from me. That's why I became a hermit, so that I could avoid that filthy lucre.
Mr. Dino, I think there's been a slight miscommunication.
What do you mean?
If I understand correctly, you think that money is evil. Is that right?
Yes. It says so right there in the Bible. Money is the root of all evil. Thus, I have decided never to use money ever again.
That must be difficult.
Well, that's the misunderstanding. Money isn't evil.
It isn't?
No. If you were to check the book, then I think you'd see where your mistake is.
What book?
This book. The Bible. In 1 Timothy 6:10, it says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which, while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." It's not money, it's the love of money. That's the problem.
Really? But I thought...
It's an easy mistake to make because everyone misquotes that verse. But the problem isn't money. The problem is that people let money get so important to them that it takes over their life and becomes their god.
But what about the rich young ruler in Mark chapter 10? He couldn't be saved because of his money.
That's the guy who came to Jesus asking what he had to do to be saved, right? Jesus told the rich man that he knew the commandments. He was not to kill, lie, or steal things from other people, and honor his parents. The rich guy then claimed to have done that perfectly.
And that was the first problem. Jesus came to save sinners. Realizing that you're a sinner who does bad things is the first step in getting to heaven. This young man didn't understand that.
So Jesus tried to get this rich guy to understand that. Jesus pointed out that the young man hadn't kept the entire law. In order to do so, the rich guy needed to sell everything that he had and follow Jesus. The rich guy got sad and left because he loved his money more than he loved God.
It was the rich man's attitude that sank him, not his money. Did you know that Paul had money?
He did?
Yes. Paul offered to buy off any debts that Onesimus had, so Paul had to have money. King David and Solomon were very rich kings, and Abraham was very wealthy. There's nothing wrong with having money, as long as you don't let money take over your life.
I see. I suppose that makes sense. Which means that I've been hiding my money wasting 40 years. I've been wasting 40 years in hiding for money.
Well, at least you can stop wasting your life now and go back to civilization.
I suppose that you're right. Well then, the second piece of the map of antiquity is yours.
Yes!
Great!
Or at least that's what I'd like to say. Unfortunately, I no longer have the second piece of the map.
What?
You don't? What happened to it?
Someone else found the lost park yesterday. He beat you to the island and then stole my piece of the map of antiquity.
What?
He stole the map?
Yes, he couldn't say a thing I understood. Understand a thing I said. So he just took it from me. I'm afraid that he has a start on your head. But he does not have the clue to the third piece of the map. I didn't give that to him.
Well, it's better than nothing. What's the third clue, Mr. Dinosaur?
The third piece of the map can be found in Moscow, among the private curio collection of Boris von Polar Bear.
That's an oddly specific clue.
Well, you're at a disadvantage, and I'd rather not let that Chicago Jimmy find the treasure first. I'm trying to help you out.
We really appreciate... Did you say Chicago Jimmy?
I did. He's the map who stole my thief. The thief who stole my map.
Who's Chicago Jimmy?
Only the meanest gangster this side of Hong Kong. Chicago Jimmy has a rap sheet longer than my tail. He's wanted for robbery, arson, extortion, and overdue library fines. There's no way that we can let him find the treasure first. He'll steal it right out from under us.
Well, then we've got to hurry.
That you do. By the way, you do have a way off this island, correct?
Well, we did, but it, kind of crashed on our way in.
I thought as much. Well, you had better come help me build a bamboo stick out of a life raft. I'm afraid that that's the only way off this island now.
Bummer.
Will Chattanooga Shale and Tennessee Jane be able to escape? the Lost Park? Will they be able to beat Chicago Jimmy to the treasure? Can you really make a life raft out of bamboo sticks and duct tape? Tune in next time to find out.